Stacy Sims, and we are back with more Hustle Cat, and we're starting Graves' route. Woo! So yeah. Yeah! Hopefully. So we're gonna do new game. Select our photo. We're gonna be us. I'm she, her. This is me! Like that we can type 12 words per minute. We're terrible. I think I fell asleep on the couch again. Wait a minute. It's supposed to start with saying, once you've started a new game, if you see I had this weird dream about a goth band, then you've unlocked it. Okay, so hold on. Little lasers of sunlight are zapping right onto my face from the middle of the curtains. I think they've been specifically aimed to burn out my eyes. I had this weird dream about a goth band. Okay, we're unlocked it, so we're good. I thought that was going to be the first line, so. But yeah, anyway, so in case you can't tell, I think I am going to read everything through because it only took about like 10 parts to read through Finley's route, and we might skip through a little bit faster, certain things. But so it'll only be like 8 to 10 parts, maybe a little bit longer if Graves is more than 5. But so it's really not that much before we get into that. So I think what we'll do for this first part is we'll do the whole beginning part until we get to the intro at least. So that might be a little bit long, but you know, we'll get our first intro part going. I think that's where all of our checkpoints are anyway, but anyway. So yeah, I had this weird dream about a goth band. What is it, like noon? Jeez. Not my fault. This couch pulls you in like you're drowning in bread dough. My spine pops in loud protest as I swim free from my bread dough cushion trap. I'm gonna have to apologize to Aunt Wendy. I'm probably leaving a dent in the shape of my ass in the cushions. I'll probably have to apologize for a couple of things, actually. Okay, I know this looks bad, but it's almost not even my fault. I can't help that glitter is naturally drawn into my gravitational pull. Honestly, it makes me feel a little more comfortable, you know? Like I really live here instead of just like I'm couch surfing at my aunt's. Or like I'm living in a furniture catalog. Not that I'm ungrateful. Aunt Wendy is awesome to let me use her apartment while she's away. She helped talk Mom and Dad into letting me come all the way out to the city, too. She is pretty cool. I hear a rustling behind me like fingernails on cardboard. It makes me pause for a second, but I jump up as I realize what it is. Hey, Mochi, knock it off! Mochi, the living trash bag disguised as a cat, stares up indignantly from inside the pizza box. He's trying to scrape some dried up cheese off the bottom again. His little mushed up face is probably trying to stare me down, but it's kind of hard to tell when he's looking with those crossed eyes. Or where he's looking with those crossed eyes. Mochi! Ow. I clap my hands a few times to break the stalemate. He jumps at the sound, then waddles back to the bedroom in defeat. I guess since I'm up too, I might as well get to whatever I'm gonna do today. I shuffle the curtains and throw them open. My laptop is still sitting open on the coffee table. Oh yeah, job searching, I guess. That's what I was gonna do. I plop back down on the couch, already sinking back into the cushions, and take a look. Jeez, there's so many tabs here. Which one did I leave Greg's list open on again? Not that one. This one? Or this one? Maybe this one. Nah, it's just another cat video. I was up all night watching Jelly Donut, cat who balances donuts on her head. I have no idea how you get a cat to do something like that. Guess that's why Mochi and I aren't internet famous. I find the tab and start scrolling through listings again. It's not like anything new has gone up since yesterday, I bet. Sidewalk cleaner intern, college credit only. Internet comment section proofreader. Fundraiser street team intern, unpaid. Yeah, it's been like this all month. Can you really blame me for giving up and watching cat videos? I know this kind of thing is supposed to take time, but try telling that to Mom, Dad, or my savings. Any of those could send me back home at any time. And I really have to get this done before Aunt Wendy comes back. Just thinking about writing another cover letter is making my will to exist erode away. I'm gonna go for a walk. When I got here, I expected to be buried in noise from the city's traffic and crowds, but it's actually pretty quiet. The apartment is on a side street, far from the main street bustle. From here, the noises of the city are just a distant hum. It's comforting, like the buzz of an old tube TV. I'd have to walk like 20 minutes to get to the train from here, but I rarely leave the neighborhood, so it doesn't really matter. Still living a small-town life in the city, I guess. I'm still living a small-town life in the city, I guess. Whatever, I get plenty of adventure in this neighborhood. I can just set out in any direction and find something new, even if I've been down that way before. Sure, I get lost a lot too, but that's half the fun, right? Clickety. There we go. I turn a corner at the end of the block and head up a tiny side street I haven't tried yet. Neatly arranged trash cans line the side of the road. I think I'm behind some stores right now. I'm expecting a dead end, but the road suddenly curves to the right. It looks too narrow for cars, but the faded white lines marking the middle seem to claim some brave drivers could try their luck. I decide to follow the sharp bend in the road. After I pass a tall partition, I'm surprised by what I see. A squat 3-story building painted so ostentatiously bright it'd be impossible to miss sits right in front of me. A cat's paw. Is this a pet store or something? Maybe I could get a dumb toy for Dumb Mochi. As I walk closer to the front doors of the building, I don't see the aisles of pet food I expected from the broad store windows. Instead, it looks like there are couches and tables in neatly arranged rows. Oh, so this is one of those pretentious restaurants with a pithy nonsense name, huh? I can feel my interest deflate and sink in my stomach. Just as I'm about to turn and continue walking, I notice a sign in the window that declares, "Now hiring, inquire within." I'm hardly dressed for a job inquiry, but I might as well give it a shot, right? I look to my right as I walk up to the door and see a little orange and white cat lying belly up, sunning itself against the window. It doesn't seem terribly sanitary to have a cat in a restaurant, but whatever. I like cats. Bells tinkle delicately as I tug on the handle. The heavy door creaks open. This place is so classy. It's fake. It looks like a game board exploded in here. Isn't that what the palace was like in Wonderland? Like with the cards and stuff? Is a purple cat going to start talking to me? That's kind of funny considering I probably said this when we played Finley's Draw, but it's kind of funny considering the fact that the cats do talk to you. Some of them. Little kitties! Cat butt. Though none of them are purple, boy are there a lot of cats. I think I count at least 8 right off the bat. They're all over the place, romping around the floor, sleeping on some of the built-in structures in the walls, staring you down from up here. I've barely had time to take it all in when I hear a voice call out to me. "Welcome, please sit wherever you like." I shuffle in place for a moment, at first unsure of where the voice came from, then of whether I want to sit or if I want to keep this strictly business. Actually, I start as the source of the voice looms into view. He appears suddenly from the second-story landing and covers the length of the floor in a few long strides. You look confused. Is this your first time here? Would you like me to explain a bit about how the cafe works? I'd be happy to give you a tour. His eyes are gentle. He's one of those people who smiles with his entire body. Positively infectious. Hold on a second. If you miss any checkpoints... We're supposed to ask about, I'm here about the job. But here's the thing. I don't remember ever being a part where this is that going to be on the test? Well, I don't remember ever doing that. That's really weird. I'm just curious, so anyway. Hold on a second. His eyes are gentle. He's one of those people who smiles with his entire body. It's positively infectious. I'm going to save. Boop. I'm going to save. And I'm going to choose the actually I'm here about the job. Actually, I'm here about the job? Oh! His pause is brief, but it worries me a little. Is it really that surprising that someone would come in and ask about a job? Did I do it wrong? Oh, great. We don't get a lot of responses. I think it's because Mr. Graves only puts the sign up in the window. He doesn't want to advertise anywhere. Good thing I came in then, huh? You're right. His smile is broad, but his eyes creep to the back of the cafe like he's looking for an escape. Okay, you can take a seat and I'll go get the owner. He'll be able to tell you a little more about what he's looking for. You got it. Oh, and what's your name? Avery. Avery, cool. I'm Landry. Nice to meet you. Okay, I'll be right back. He bounds up the stairs and disappears. I begin to sit at the little cafe table, but freeze halfway as I hear a faint exclamation of dismay. It's followed by thundering footsteps, then by Landry's return. Avery, I'm so sorry. What? I didn't offer you any coffee. Would you like some? Oh, don't scare me like that. Sure, you got it. He vanishes into the back again and reappears carefully balancing a stout white mug atop a black saucer in one hand and a tiny creamer in the other. Gently, he sends the mug and creamer before me. I forgot to ask how you take your coffee, so I brought you some milk. There's sugar on the table if you like it. Oh, thank you. Okay, I'll check with Graves this time. I mean it. Landry bounds to the back room and is again out of sight. A Siamese cat timidly peers at him as he goes, then directly at me with a wide-eyed, worried look. I give it an awkward smile and nod before I realize I'm treating a cat like a stranger in an elevator. I dump most of the milk and 3 sugar packs in my coffee before I can get it to the consistency I like. I pour what should be a little splash of extra milk, but half the creamer's worth spills in. It almost overflows. Mew! The cat's looking at me like it's offended by what I just did. What? Like a cat knows anything about coffee. When Landry finally returns, he's not alone. This is Graves, the owner of the cafe. Graves, this is Avery.
Hello, Avery.
He looks like he should own a bookstore that insists it sells tomes, not books. Or maybe like he sells crystals that balance your chakras. Or maybe this is what the owners of cat cafes look like. I've never seen. Ah! His eyes, they're 2 different colors. I can't focus on both of them at the same time. Which one am I supposed to look at? My attention is sucked into his icy blue eye. Is he wearing a contact to complete his dark Renaissance look? I think it was his eye. Yes, it was this. Eh? He had the eye of a vulture, a pale blue eye with a film over it. Whenever it fell upon me, my blood ran cold. And so, by degrees, very gradually, made up my mind to take the life of the old man, and thus rid myself of the eye forever. Excuse me? Telltale Heart, you were looking at my eye. Kids, don't you read that in high school? Well, yeah, but... Iridis heterochromia. It's more common in cats than humans. What a weirdo. I'm not sure I want to work for a guy like this. It's kind of funny that... Oh, see? Wait! This one never comes up. We've said I'm actually here about the job, but am I crazy? I'm here about the job, blah, blah, blah. We always skip this. It never pops up. That's so bizarre. That's checkpoint 1. Is that going to be on the test? I shouldn't sass my potential boss, but I can't help it. It just kind of slipped out. It was an interview question, but you can consider that one a free pass. And cats with extra toes are called polydactyls. That wasn't an interview question, but I appreciate your proof of cat knowledge. Why'd I blurt that out? Now I look stupid! Do you have any more tucked up your sleeve? Or maybe he's into it. He looks really amused right now, at least, so maybe it's only because we're on Graves' route? I feel like we did this when we did Finley's, but the weird thing is like anytime we've skipped through, we've never gotten that question again. Am I crazy? I don't know. Calico and tortoiseshell cats are all female. Not necessarily, but close enough, I suppose. And cats also have whiskers on the back of their front legs. Ha! I wouldn't have guessed you a cat person. Not a bad start. Graves, would you mind telling Avery a bit about the place? I think it'd be good if you'd talk about what we do here. Graves looks like the notion is causing him physical pain. I'm not too keen on this idea either, Chief. You didn't do that already? Don't you think it sounds better coming from the owner? You're gonna be doing the interview anyway. Good point, Landry. This cafe would collapse into rubble without you around to keep me on track. Ha ha ha! All right, Avery, I don't I didn't prepare a speech, so you'll have to forgive me. I'm a little surprised to hear that, but I guess there aren't many Poe stories that he can quote for this situation. I like to take care of strays. I like coffee. I like good desserts. I like a beautiful room. I wanted a place where I could have all of those at once. That's how A Cat's Paw was born. The cats here are from the neighborhood. Usually they want to come here, so I don't have to convince them to come in. Forever home. Pithy, hate that term. But the cats who want to be adopted are listed on the wall over there. I'm a good matchmaker for people and cats. I can tell who's a good fit for the cat's personality. If they meet my standards, they've got a new family member. It's good you help them find homes like that. Well, if I had the room, I'd just keep them all. He totally means that, doesn't he? Cool. I get to be interviewed by a cat hoarder. I don't know, it's probably better that way, right? Who knows? Follow me, we'll talk on the second floor. Before he finishes the sentence, he's already 3 steps up the stairs to the balcony. So much for the introduction to the cafe, I guess. I shake my head a little and follow him. After all, I really need a job. We make our way up to the second floor balcony, which, except for us, is only occupied by those amazing-looking cakes in the display case. I wonder if I could get a slice on my way out. Graves leans down over the balcony of the cafe and raises his voice to the people below. Or to the cats, I guess, since cats are the only thing I can see from here. Hayes, will you get us some coffee? Is that the chef? I haven't seen anybody here besides him and Landry. Oh, I already had a cup. Is that going to stop you from another? You can't have enough coffee, especially when Hayes is the one making it. I don't think I met Hayes. You may have. You might not know yet. We did. He was sitting next to us. Graves folds himself into the slender chair at a corner table. He pushes the opposite chair away with his foot, nudging it just enough to turn it towards me. Come on, sit down. Let's talk. Oopsie, hold on. I clicked off my guide. We have to get all of the answers right to the quiz. We don't have to. We have to get a majority, not 100%, but we're going to 100% it, so. You don't have to be so stiff. Interviews are boring. Make it interesting for both of us. No pressure, huh? Graves sits with this sort of a grim pomp, like he's sitting on a skull throne and a raven's going to land on his shoulder at any time. Maybe it's more like he's about to roll a die with a lot of sides. Bet he's a nerd. We like saying nerd. I take the seat across from him. Just so you're aware, we aren't starting without coffee. Okay? You can talk, of course. I meant the interview. Okay. Out of the corner of my eye, I notice a tiny slip of a blonde man standing at the balcony entrance. Ah! I jump a little. When did he get here? I didn't hear anybody come up the stairs at all. Is this guy a ghost? Graves looks like the type to hire ghosts. He looks terrified by my shout. I think I scared him more than he scared me. Gingerly, he sets 2 mugs in front of Graves. Thank you, Hayes, but you should give Avery the other mug. He sounds like he's reminding a child to say thank you. Of course. Hayes glances up at me. Our eyes meet for a millisecond before he suddenly finds something very important to focus on downstairs. He pushes the cup towards me without looking back up. Thank you? Graves' ring clacks against the porcelain of the cup as he takes a drink. Perfect, as always. I don't know what I did without your coffee. It's nothing special, really. He talks like it's the first time he's spoken today. Quiet and a little hoarse. If that's all, I'll go back to the cats. That's fine. He slips back down the stairs just as quietly as he arrived. That kid would make a great ninja. I look down at the coffee and see a sleepy cat face staring up at me from the foam. I've only ever seen latte art on the internet before. Did Hayes really do this? I take a sip. It's not bad if you like coffee, I guess, but it could really use some sugar. There are packets on the table, but I can't bring myself to ruin the foam cat. Now we can get this going. Let's interview. I'll even start you off easy. What's your favorite breed of cat? Cats that look like they're wearing their tuxedos. I know that one. Or my cat also gets us points. Cats that look like they're wearing tuxedos. Do you know any other languages? How about ciphers? We can either say... God damn it. We can either say... We speak, I'm assuming that's Japanese. Or I speak the language of dance. I just say the language of dance. What marine animal would you best say represents you? A dolphin or an orca? So we're going to say a dolphin, because that's the first option that we're getting. What genre of music would you use to describe your work ethic? Classically hardworking or punk? I'm not dead, just resting. Let's go with punk. I'm not dead, just resting. On a scale from 1 to 10, rate me as an interviewer. 7.5. That's the answer we're supposed to give him. Draculas or teenaged wolves? Obviously, we know it's Draculas. Just kidding with that last one. Interesting. Good. I like interesting people. He leans forward, appraising me with this terrible smirk on his face. He's like the cat who ate the canary. Maybe I don't want to be interesting by his standards, but it feels kind of flattering nonetheless. Thank you? You start tomorrow. Wow, great. Thank you. Don't run off yet. I have paperwork for you. Oh, yeah, of course. Graves pushes away from the table, coffee cup in hand. He nabs my saucer even though I'm not quite finished and slinks down the stairs. He returns as if he'd never left, trading the empty coffee cups for a small stack of papers and a pen. He places them in front of me. So what will my job be? We'll see. Did he hire me with no position in mind? Is this how this guy usually works? I feel like I'm in a daze. Too much information and too much coffee. I take the papers and skim them, signing pretty much anywhere I see an X on a line. What's it all for, and why is there so much? Probably taxes and stuff? I don't know. Who cares? I've got a job! I push the papers back toward Graves, and he eagerly scoops them off the table. Perfect. We open at 11. Be here at 8. We'll have you help with the morning prep. My displeasure must be pretty apparent, because his mouth cracks into another smirk. You can work a later shift after training. You won't have to deal with those cursed mornings for too long. Okay, that's fine. Now go. I have a lot of work to do before tomorrow. You need to get to work fixing that sleep schedule of yours. Okay. He seems lost in his own world now, poring over the paperwork I just filled out. I guess there's all sorts of tax stuff you have to deal with when hiring people. Why would he do it so casually? Well, whatever, not my problem. I head down the stairs. Landry's back. He looks uncomfortable, waiting at the foot of the balcony, but perks up when he sees me. So? I'll see you tomorrow, coworker! Oh, congratulations! You can meet everybody else tomorrow morning. I'll make sure they're all ready for meeting you when you get in. How many people work here? Well, there's me, Graves, of course. You met Hayes, Finley, Mason, Reese. That's it. It shouldn't take too long to get to know them. Okay, great. I'll see you all tomorrow then. Great, see ya. Woohoo! I'm gonna live it up a little. I'm gonna paint this town red. I finally have a job. Lies, I'm gonna go home and go to bed. Okay. So... much of... If you hit all the checkpoints, doesn't matter whose other points you got, this will supersede any choices, so get flirty. So, from this point on, anything else we do, it doesn't matter. We just know when we get to basement or Graves' apartment, we check out Graves' apartment, and there's 2 other options when talking with him that we've got to hit. And then we're definitely on his path and we're cool. So, but if we miss those, we go right back to nothing. But that's the weird thing. If we choose to check out Graves' apartment, you know, and like say we miss the checkpoints, what happens then? I'm curious about that because like, would it then calculate who others point? Because like, you know, like when you go to the basement, it determines that the person who shows up, that's the route you're on. So it'll calculate the points and go, okay, you have the most points with Finley, that's why she showed up in the basement, right? So we've seen that as we've gone through the other paths. But if we choose to go to Graves' apartment, and then we have a conversation with Graves and we miss the 2 other checkpoints that are after that, which are probably when we're in his apartment talking to him, what happens then? Like, do we, that does it, you know what I mean? Like, we'd miss that whole basement thing with everybody else, with the other people. So we'd miss that whole part, you know? I don't know. Anyway, I got lost and I didn't end up painting anything, but it was a nice walk. As I head home, I get this distinct feeling of being followed. I didn't really know that was a thing that actually happens, but it's hard not to notice when you see some movement out of the corner of your eye. I turn around. A sleek black cat stands in the middle of the road. It sits down when we make eye contact and thumps its tail testily against the pavement. It's got different colored eyes. I guess heterochromia really is pretty common in cats, huh? Should I, try to bring it to the cafe? They take care of strays there, after all. I should try. I crouched in as slowly as I can and reach my hand toward the cat, beckoning to it. It doesn't move. I make those little smooshy noises that seem to work on some cats. This one doesn't seem terribly impressed. It pins its ears back and looks away. Still, for a moment, before standing up and slinking into an alley. I guess I should just leave it to the professionals. That's like, ugh. He's like, how dare you? It's time to celebrate. I'm gonna wreck this pizza I grabbed from Pizza Lloyd's on the way home. I picked up a can of wet cat food for Mochi from the corner store, too. I figure we both deserve a celebration. What are you looking at? Bird is looking at something and it's freaking me out. Sometimes when he looks at my ceiling it makes weird noises because there's bug. But there's no bug. Oh, maybe he sees something outside. I finally have them back in the window because my blinds fell down on the poor birds. Like, on their cages. Scared the crap out of my poor little baby bird. Like, I was opening the blinds one day and I go to pull it. Like I always do, open the blinds for them, and it came crashing down in her cage. Poor fucking bird. I thought she was gonna die. I literally expected to come home and find her, like, feet up in the bottom of the cage, like, having a heart attack. She was in there and she was squeaking. She was breathing so heavily. It was like, hee, 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 hee. And I was like, oh my god, poor little bird. She's fine, though. But I had to move them because I had to have people come in to fix the blinds and fix my lamp and check for holes for mice and fix my shower. Like, so I got a laundry list, and that's on top of the fact that so far this year my hot water heater broke and my air conditioner broke and my roof was leaking and my flue was leaking, but in my fireplace, but I didn't tell them about that and it hasn't leaked since. But there is a hole, not like where there's supposed to be a hole for the flue, like in the metal plate there's like a rust hole. All fucking apartment's falling down. Like, whatever. Okay. We're fine. Oh, good lord. Anyway. Mochi, get your fat lump out here. I have good news. No answer, indication he's even in the same room. You know, he never even asks how my day was. I know how to do this. I walk over to his food bowl and crack the lid of the wet food. In a flash, he's at my feet, tail shaking like a rotor behind him. Come here, you big moron. I give him a little scratch behind the ears before I dump half the can into his bowl, and the feeding frenzy begins. He acts like I never feed him. Whatever, I'm about to do the same to this pizza. After a quick jaunt to free myself from the shackles of non-pajama clothing, I flop back down on the couch, dinner in hand, laptop in my face. Oh! It looks like there's a new Jelly Donut video! It's a video of her sleeping in a donut box. I love that dumb internet cat. She's always doing something ridiculous. I wonder how her owner gets her to do those tricks. That flooring seems familiar. Where are these filmed? I spend the rest of the evening picking through the video archives. I can feel myself sinking into the bread dough couch cushions. Wow. It's so early. What's his problem? Wow. I bet he just wants the other half of that wet food. This is why I don't get it for him that often. I excavate myself from the couch and do what I can to mitigate the bedhead situation I have going on. What time is it anyway? I grab my phone to check. 7:40? Aw, hell! I'm gonna be late for my first day of work! I take the world's fastest shower, but there's no time to dry my hair. I'll have to hope I run fast enough that the wind resistance will do the job for me. No time to sort through my duffel. Just gonna have to throw on whatever looks cleanest. It's not like Graves said anything about a dress code, so whatever. Mochi trails me closely, howling more and more insistently along the way. It's like he doesn't care about my punctuality at all. No time to mix the wet food the way he likes it. I dump a scoop of kibble in the bowl on the way out the door. I haven't seen a cat so offended since the one that watched me mess up coffee. They can both deal with it. I can't believe I'm almost late to my first day of work. At my first job, even. What a great first impression to leave. Thanks for hiring me, Avery the Flake. I start out in a full sprint to the cafe, but it's only about a 10-minute walk, so it looks like it might not be as bad as I thought. If I run, I can make it in less time. And I actually probably should have kind of wrapped that up before, when she went to bed and woke up. But anyway, I'll wrap this part up here, and we will continue in the next part. So yeah, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.